The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily the views of ECTV News, the City of East Chicago, nor this broadcast station or website. ECTV airs public meetings as a service to the community it serves. Speakers at public meetings, broadcast, or posted by ECTV News are solely responsible for their comments. ECTV News reserves the right to edit or remove any profanity or abusive language or behavior deemed inappropriate for our viewing audience. If you have any comments or suggestions about this program, contact ECTV News at 219-391-8206.
I'll call to order the regular scheduled council meeting for Monday, January 12, 2015. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Here.
Battle.
Present.
Vasquez.
Present.
Cuevas.
Present.
Orange.
Present.
Maldonado.
Present.
Arnold.
Present.
Parks.
Present.
Franciski.
Present. First thing on the agenda tonight is going to open up the nominations, the floor for nominations for officers.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vasquez.
I'd like to nominate Lenny Franciski for president.
I accept. Is there any other nominations for president? At this time, we're going to open up the floor for nominations for vice president.
We vote.
You might want to just take a vote of that.
Okay. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Lenny.
Battle.
Lenny.
Vasquez.
Lenny.
Cuevas.
Lenny.
Orange.
Lenny.
Maldonado.
Lenny.
Arnold.
Lenny.
Parks.
Lenny.
Franciski.
Lenny. I just want to tell my colleagues, thank you. I appreciate you giving me another opportunity, and I promise you I'd be fair. Thank you. This time, we're going to open up the floor for nominations for vice president.
I nominate Christine Vasquez.
Second.
We do have one nomination on the floor. Is there any other nominations for vice president? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
I accept. I accept. Yeah.
Battle.
Yes. Christine.
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 Cuevas.
Christine.
Orange.
Councilwoman Vasquez.
Maldonado.
Christine.
Arnold.
Christine.
Parks.
Christine.
Franciski.
Christine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a motion to accept the minutes for the special meeting for Monday, December 29, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Arnold, seconded by Councilman Cuevas. Who have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Yes.
Battle.
Stain.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Cuevas.
Yes.
Orange. Maldonado.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Parks.
Yes.
Franciski.
Yes. Do we have any communications from the mayor?
No.
Any communications from department heads?
Yes. Accounts payable warrant 011215CC.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Vasquez, seconded by Councilwoman Orange, to accept accounts payable warrant 011215CC. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Yes.
Battle.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Cuevas.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Franceschi.
Yes.
Payroll warrant 121914.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Cuevas, seconded by Councilwoman Maldonado to accept payroll warrant 121914. Do I have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos,
Yes.
Battle,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Cuevas,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Franceschi.
Yes.
Payroll warrant 123114.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Parks, seconded by Councilman Battle to accept payroll warrant 123114. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Santos,
Yes.
Battle,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Cuevas,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Franceschi.
Yes.
Payroll warrant 123114.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Cuevas, seconded by Councilwoman Vasquez to accept payroll warrant 123114. Have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos,
Yes.
Battle,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Cuevas,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Franceschi.
Yes.
Payroll warrant 010215.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Cuevas, seconded by Councilwoman Orange to accept payroll warrant 010215. Do you have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos,
Yes.
Battle,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Cuevas,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Franceschi.
Yes.
Payroll warrant 010215.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Vasquez, seconded by Councilman Battle to accept payroll warrant 010215. Have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos,
Yes.
Battle,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Cuevas,
Yes.
Orange, Maldonado,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Franceschi.
Yes.
Employment contract council attorney.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Orange, seconded by Councilwoman Maldonado to accept the employment contract for council attorney. Have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos,
Yes.
Battle,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Cuevas,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Franceschi.
Yes.
Financial consultant service agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Orange, second by Councilwoman Maldonado to accept the financial consultant service agreement. Do we have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos, Battle,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Cuevas,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Franceschi.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have any committee reports? Board reports will be read at the next meeting. Madam Clerk, do we have any ordinances on first reading?
No,
Any ordinances on second reading?
no,
We have any Ordinance is on third reading.
No.
Do we have any resolutions?
Yes, 14-0022, sponsored Councilman Lenny Francisci, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of East Chicago concerning a petition for use variance to allow property located at 4861 Homer Lee Avenue to be used as a neighborhood tavern.
Mr. President,
Councilman Santos?
so move on Resolution 14-0022.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Santos, seconded by Councilwoman Arnold. We have any discussion on the resolution? Attorney Bauer?
Attorney Stephen Bauer, the draft of the resolution that you've got in there has a phrase in there, approve or denied. So if you make a motion to approve the resolution, you need to identify as to whether or not you want to approve the use variance or deny the use variance. Keep in mind, the BZA has made a recommendation of denial on the use variance.
Councilman Santos?
And just so that I clarify some of this stuff, because I know that it kind of got quiet there for a minute. The motion was to hear it. Now, when Madam Clerk takes the roll call, it'll be either for approval or denial, am I right?
It will, yes, it will be for you to consider it tonight.
Yeah, it's being heard now, so when she calls for a roll call, we can either approve or deny, and that would be the actual roll call vote, am I right?
Well, no. If you got a roll call vote now to hear it, all right? Once you decide to hear it, then someone needs to make a motion to either approve it with conditions, or deny it.
Councilwoman Vasquez?
Attorney Bauer, you're saying that because it was tabled, right? And that's why we're asking for approval to hear it?
Yes.
Am I correct? Okay,
We
Let's
just,
table it.
right.
you're literally just taking it off the table, although it's on the agenda, but to, to make the record clear.
Councilman didn't know it was tabled.
Okay, I wasn't, Mr. President, I didn't know it was tabled, that's why, but no, okay.
So this vote is just to hear
To
it.
take it off the
Right,
table.
Councilman.
Right.
Madam Clerk, roll call to take the resolution off the table?
Santos?
Yes.
Battle?
Yes.
Vasquez?
Yes.
Cuevas?
Yes.
Orange?
Yes.
Maldonado?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
Parks?
Yes.
Francisci?
Yes. Do we have any discussion on the resolution? Councilman Santos?
Just for clarification on, and I think we mentioned it just vaguely here, Steve, you mentioned it. The council, the city council, we as a board have to act on this, and we don't act on this within the 60 days, it automatically gets approved, am I right?
I think it's 90 days, but that's correct. If you do not act within 90 days, one way or another, it is by state law deemed approved, even though the BZA has given a recommendation of denial.
Now, Mr. President, this was obviously discussed at our special meeting or last meeting, since it got tabled, I'm not.
There was a committee meeting on it that lasted about an hour and 20 minutes, and many things were discussed.
I'm just wondering what was the vote on the BZ. I don't know who held the committee. I was out of town, so.
I think the BZA vote was 3-1.
Councilwoman Arnold?
Out of respect to my colleague, we did hold the committee meeting on January the 2nd. January 2nd, yes, it was January 2nd. And basically, we had the lady come up and to discuss with us the steps that she had taken previously to open up the business. There was some misunderstanding on her part. She did not follow some of the steps, but she was forgiven. She did get a waiver from one of the departments that I know of personally. Our concern, or my concern as the chairperson for public safety, was that she started the steps, and she was never given any indication that there may be a possible problem. And she invested over $100,000 of her money. And another one of my concerns was that as a council, when we have businesses to come forward, I want us to be a business-friendly city. So that was one of my concerns. Another one of the questions were, because she had to post a big orange sign that says alcohol and beverage permit applied for, and it was up for over 90 days. No one ever called in or wrote a letter or even came to the hearing to say that they did not want this in their neighborhood. So now it's become a rising thing that nobody wants it now, but they had 90 days or more to come forward. So those were some of the things that we did address. And it has been said that some people do not want to allow it. She had a petition. Lenny looked it over because that is his district, and he knows his district. Some of the people were renters, so we understand that, on that petition too. So that kind of lays out what was on the floor. But my number one concern as a chairperson and as a business owner is, how do we let the cart go before the horse? Because she got so far out there. So that may be something that we need to look into as a city, is to make sure businesses understand the steps to take. Everybody's eager to open up a business, but we need to have every department to say, hey, go and see building department, go and see city hall. So that was some of the concerns. And Lenny is the councilman for that district. He's getting feedback from his constituents in the area, but they did not show up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if I could just speak on that, yeah, there was one actually at the BZA meeting. I did get several calls from actual homeowners that live in that district, in that area, a block radius, that does not want the business there. I'm sorry for her that she kind of went this way and kind of did some things that kind of made it seem like that she already had the business, but everything wasn't, 1, 2, 3 scaled. I also do have the precinct person that is in that area as well. I don't know if you'd like to say something, just your name for the record, please.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Beverly Armenta. I'm precinct committee woman of EC6. And like Lenny did, the same thing. I spoke to some of my neighbors who are homeowners. We finally have some peace and quiet in our neighborhood. When the 49th Street Pub was open, it was constant traffic going on there. I was afraid to even come down 149th at any time of the day. You just never knew what was going to be happening, because there was just so much activity going on. It's quiet now. I feel safe when I'm outside. I can sit outside. We don't have all the shooting and carrying on that we had. We don't want to take the chance on all this commotion. A lot of the people there are now elderly people that are living in that area, and I think that's what we want, is peace and quiet.
Thank you.
I have a question. Were you aware that she was doing this work on the property?
No,
You were not aware of it?
no, not at all.
Would you have any, if it was a candy store, would you be comfortable with that?
I was just going to say, I would love to have a candy store. That'd be great, like they used to have on Magoon.
I can tell you this, I have a candy store in my block, and we've had about 5 or 6 shootings at that candy store. So
But see,
sometimes
yeah.
it's not the business, it's the business owner. The responsibility goes to the owner of the business.
Yeah, but there's only so much control she can have
Exactly.
over
So
the people,
that's-
so why put it out there and have to worry about it?
Yeah, but when I asked you about the candy store, you
Yeah.
was, yeah. go
That would
for
be
it.
nice, yeah, but see, we had an apartment building on the next corner that was just full of just gangbangers and just a bunch of mess people. That building is finally emptied out, along with the 49th Street Pub on the next corner. No problems going up and down that street. It is so quiet, so quiet.
I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
4800 block of Drummond, the owner have been shot in the head and left
Wow.
for dead several times. Once earlier in 2014. So it's not the business, it's the business owner's responsibility to keep.
Yeah, but
that
there's only so
area
much you
safe
can't control what's going on outside the building,
And not control it.
right?
Thank you.
And then again, at 49th Street in Drummond, they weren't just selling candy, they're selling cigarettes and blunts and everything else, so. Come on.
I have a question for Ms. Armenta.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. I unfortunately, Beverly, wasn't at the meeting. I wish I would have made it. And I too feel that, we need to help businesses try to get in there. We're definitely not trying to go against anything like that. But again, there's certain steps that individual proprietors need to get ready to do before they jump ahead of themselves too far. And unfortunately, that wasn't done. But my questions to you was, has your neighborhood, were they receptive for anything else, like maybe just a restaurant with no alcohol or anything like that?
Like I said,
Has anything been
it's
discussed?
just a lot of elderly people who have been there for a long time, and they're not concerned about building up that neighborhood per se. But, like you said, I didn't know about her putting in all this money, but at the same time, did she do her homework to see how the people felt about it before she invested this money?
Yeah, that's the
It goes
question.
both ways.
Yeah, I think she went a little bit ahead of
Yeah,
it before she got
exactly. Yeah, and
okays.
I feel bad about that, but I've been there for 29 years, and as much as my children would like for me to move out, I'm not leaving there. That's my home. So I want to feel safe there.
And by no means, I'm not, I'm not discouraging her or I don't want her business. It's just the business that she's having there. The packaged liquors, we already have a liquor store right on the corner. So now we're going to have another liquor store, just a corner from away. I just, and like she said, there's a lot of elderly residents in there that doesn't want to hear the music or anything else at, wee hours of the morning, So I hope my colleagues just take that in consideration. Councilwoman Arnold.
I know we had also asked her, would she consider taking away some of the dynamics of the business, like the liquor store? Maybe we should have her come up and talk to us. Maybe she's had a chance to think about it, and she may have a different plan for us that we may want to hear.
Can I speak on behalf of my client?
Your name for the records?
Lonnie Randolph, Attorney Randolph, on behalf of Mrs. Ramos, Maria Ramos.
Mr. President, point of order. I'm sorry, Mr. Randolph. I'm going to make a motion to hear it. We took it off the table. There's not a motion to hear it. Right now, we just taking it off the table, so I'm going to make a motion to hear Resolution 14-0022.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Santos, seconded by Councilwoman Arnold to hear Resolution 14-0022. Go ahead, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just for point of clarification, I just want to deal with some facts before I indicate my position on behalf of Ms. Ramos. And I respect the precinct committee person's position concerning that. This was an endeavor that started in 2013. And in 2013, there was a purchase of a building that's been vacant for over a year. My understanding of your ordinance is that if, in fact, a building has been vacant for more than a year, it reverts back to residential. Originally, it was a variance that was granted based upon the physical layout of the facilities of the location. The location is still the same. And there was an operation by an individual, I'm told, that some people did not agree with concerning his operation. Anyway, the place was closed. Thereafter, there was no building, no business at all. There was concern about whether or not vagrants might come into the location and do some damage. There was concern about drugs coming to the location that might cause some problems. And so there was concern also about whether or not the property values of the various residents would go down. And so we said, what should we do about it? Well, no one came up with a remedy. What happened was we've got a young individual. This is Ms. Ramos. She is 53, 54 years old, 5 kids. All kids, 3 of them have their own business. 2 of them are going to be supporting her. Matter of fact, one is already living in the business. There's 2 units upstairs. One is occupied by one of her sons, and the other one will be occupied by her if, in fact, it opens up. But in any event, she came forward and she spent her hard-earned money. This is money that she had saved up because she's always had a lifetime dream of having her own business. So she purchased a building. Then thereafter, she spent about 6 months searching for a license. There was license and escrow account, probably about half a dozen of them, and I myself made the trip down to Indianapolis to meet with the alcohol beverage people to discover what was available. Once we did, we started searching out for the particular owners who had license and escrow. We negotiated with one, and in that negotiation, she spent another $25,000 after she spent $70,000 for the building, for the license. Thereafter, she put in an application with the Alcohol Beverage Commission for a permit, for a license by the state of Indiana to operate the location. Well, she filled out the application, we sent it in, she paid another $1,050 for that. But in any event, notice was sent out. They sent out notice to her whereby there are certain criteria that she had to reach. One criteria was, as alluded to by Councilman Arnold, was a public posting of the location to give residents within the area notice if they had any objections to it, to come to a hearing that they had posted in Crown Point. No one appeared at that hearing. It was posted for well over 90 days. No one came to that hearing at all. And at that hearing, one individual showed up, and that individual lived on Wall Street by Bishop Knoll, not even close to the area. And they asked, well, why, since you don't live here, why is that your objection? Well, I just wanted to come object. But anyway, at that point, they tabled it. Not tabled it, but they continued for the next hearing. So they extended for another 30 days. We finally had the hearing, I think, September or October of 2014. And at that hearing, that person didn't even show up. That person didn't even show up. So there's no objections at all. No objections at all. So you're talking about additional 30 days beyond the 90 days that the notice was printed. Bold print. No one showed up. The excise tax individual came out. He surveyed the place, inspected the place, and they approved it. So they approved it. So during the meantime, in the interim time, she was making various repairs to the things. Now, one of the mistakes she made was not going to the planning department. She did go there, but she did not get any assistance, so she didn't know what direction to do. All she knows is that she had to fix it up, and she did that. She spent her money to fix up the place during that period of time. Now, thereafter, we went and we were talking about opening up. So then she would discover that she had to go back to the Planning Commission. So instead of her going back, she contacted me. I went back, and I've got the appropriate files. I filed on her behalf. That's how we got before the BZA. And when we went before the BZA, there was 4 members present, and the questions that they're focused on was security, debris, and lighting. So she indicated that if, in fact, you want me to put lighting on the building, I'll do that. Security, she indicated that there are several police officers, which she knows and her family knows, that indicate they would be willing to be security on their off days. Fine. Debris, she said, well, she'll be there, she'll be living there, as well as her son, and they'll be doing whatever's necessary to keep the place clean. So those were the issues. Nothing else about guns or safety or anything like that. Keep in mind, this is an individual who has a very clean, pure history, background. Hard-working woman. She has 4 or 5 character references that she presented before them and everything. So anyway, the vote was 3-1. And those were the questions they asked, not on the merits of the business itself. There was no questions concerning how it would enhance the property values within the area. There was no question indicated how vagrancy would be solved. There's no question presented concerning who would be living there, and she would be living there. But anyway, those are questions that goes to the merits of the business. Now we're here now, after we had a committee being set up by the council. Now we're here presenting board, and the question seems to be, well, we know how it used to be, and we don't want that again. Well, that deals with the character of the individual in the business. Just because you got a business that has a history of negative stuff don't mean that you associate that history with a new person coming in. Everybody got a different personality. Everybody got a different attitude. Everybody has a different history concerning where they've been, where they are, and where they want to go to. She has a very good history. She has some solid people supporting her. We did a petition in the area, block by block, in that block where it's located, and the other block on the other side, of people, residents, asking them about how they feel about it, in addition to what the Alcohol Beverage Commission required. There's a petition signed by people within that block and the other block saying they support her. Matter of fact, since she's been there, since they know she's going to open it up, they're trying to ask her how soon is she's going to be opening up. They're pushing for her to open it up. Now, this is the facts. What happens if she moves in there? She moves in there, that means you've got a building that was unoccupied that's going to be occupied by two people, her son and herself. You've got someone on the premises who's going to be able to maintain it, first of all. You eliminate the possibility of vagrancy. You eliminate the possibility of somebody coming in and breaking windows. You eliminate the possibility of gangs. You eliminate all, and then the other thing, too, is what do you do? Well, when you've got vacant buildings within a block, what happens? The property values of the existing residents that's in it goes down. But when you occupy it, what happens? The property value goes up. So that's a benefit. That enhances that neighborhood. It enhances the people within the area. That's what you got. Now, one of the things that you have to look up too in terms of that was when you open up a business, well, you're going to need employees. She's made a commitment that she's going to hire people within the community. She's already talked to some young people in the community who are not working right now who will be employed by her. Does that benefit the city? I think so. It takes some additional people off the street, gives them a job so they can get a paycheck, and when they give a paycheck, what do? They buy goods and services that benefit what? The city. What's the objective of the city council? What's the objective of the city? That is to encourage people to invest within the city. What kind of signal?
Excuse me,
Councilwoman Orange?
but you never answered Councilwoman Arnold's question. You said you would talk for your client, and she asked if there would be a reconsideration of the package.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to get to that.
Okay, well,
I'm going to get to that. My point is, at the hearing, when she asked whether or not, and I believe Mr. Bauer brought it up, one of the things the city council can do, you can approve it. The ordinance allows you to also to modify and make conditions and do a supervision period on an annual basis of her. She indicated that she's willing to meet whatever conditions you put on her. You give her a permit to operate the business, you can supervise it for 6 months or a year, and you can revoke it at any time because you've got that authority. So why not give her her shot? She deserves a shot just like anybody else. And you're talking about hardship. She's created a hardship. The building department you hear have indicated, yeah, well, you know, you didn't take the proper steps, but they waived that. Ms. Guzman said she has no problems with that. She was here. And
But
she
see,
said
some of it, she wouldn't have been in a hardship if she would have went through the right channels and put all that in there, though.
But there's a
But
difference.
you're not saying, no,
There's a
that's part of it, too,
But there's a big
attorney.
difference. She is a regular resident. She is not charged with knowing all the ordinance of the city of East Chicago. She found out afterwards. Now, she made the effort to go there, but when she went there the first time, she didn't get any assistance. That's when she started on her own. That I understand. But my point is that the building department, Mrs. Guzman, indicated, we will forego that. She didn't do it right, but in the future, this is what you have to do. So she's got direct notice concerning what she has to do in the future when she wants to expand, modify, whatever. So that's done. So my point is, right, we are a city that's supposed to be doing what? Looking out for our residents.
And that's what
Looking
we're
out
doing
for the
because we
people.
do not want another tavern in that
Well,
area. That's
well,
that's what I am doing.
I understand what you said, but you cannot ignore that the fact that there's signatures on a petition that we had, resolution, supporting her within that community.
And I
Supporting
have
her.
the same thing that doesn't want it there as well.
I've got the written document
Okay.
that I showed it to you before. It's in the file, and if you want to see it again, I produce it right now, showing that.
I don't need to see it.
I'm saying this. I would like to see us be a city of a progressive nature that's going to support people who want to create business within our community. By denying her, you're showing the opposite. You're showing her the opposite. You have the power, you have the control, you have the ordinance to modify and to supervise. So if in fact, just like any other job that you might have, you put a person on probation, you hire them because you think they're a good employee, and you give them a probationary period, and if they work out, you make it permanent. Same thing with a business. You can do the same principle here. Why not? Give her the shot. Supervise her for not 6 months, every 3 months. See how it's done. Anytime there's anything that goes wrong, you have what? The ability and power to shut it down. To shut it down. So all I'm asking for you to do is give her a shot. Give her an opportunity to accomplish her dream, to pursue her dream. She's got a chance. She's been working all her life to save up her money for this opportunity. And I'm asking my city council not to deny her that opportunity, because you've got the purse, you've got the control. You can shut it down whatever you want. You can shut it, open it up one day, and then the following week you can shut it down. You've got the power for that. She is a person of good moral character. She has no history of nothing negative, not even jaywalking, let alone drugs. And then why are you going to speculate and assume that drugs is going to be there based upon what happened previous to somebody else that's not her? That's unfair. That's not fair at all. You need to give her a shot and give her a chance. So this way you can supervise on a regular basis. You can send Ms. Guzman there on a monthly basis to check to see how she's doing, to make certain everything is in order. And if something's not in order, you can shut it down then. In the meantime, you give her an opportunity. I think she deserves that. Thank you.
Councilman Vasquez.
Attorney Randolph. I want to make a couple of comments. One, I don't want the public, because we are on camera, to assume that we're accusing her of something premature, that we're saying that she's bringing drugs or anything. I want to go on record. I have not even implied that or have said that in a meeting. When we had the committee meeting, in fact, I told her, I don't know who she is. I'm going by what you say, and I take your word that she's that she has a clean record, she's a good woman, a good businesswoman. Would she consider starting it as an other business besides a tavern? Because she's invested so much money into it? Because I am business friendly. But I'll tell you now, I don't want another tavern in my district.
Yeah.
And what I want to say, would she consider, because we saw the pictures of the property and what she did, would she consider starting off doing something else?
Yeah, it's a combination. Yeah.
Being a restaurant only?
Yeah, it's going to be like a restaurant and the open bar area. So it's a combination, because in that area, there's 2 local businesses right there that's already there. Mm-hmm. There also is another package store about a block away around the corner. And everything. So there's 3 businesses right there at that point in time. Hers was just going to be a restaurant and the bar area. Okay? And so if in fact there's some restrictions you like to put on her, she's amenable to that.
But I can't put a restriction on telling her after she applied for a liquor license that at this point I would rather see a restaurant there only. That's something I can't put. She already applied for her license.
Yeah, she's already got that. I mean, that's already been approved by the state. And
just by the letter, by what you said, that she appears to be, a good woman in good standing. But what I'm saying is, I don't want her to think that I don't want her to come to East Chicago or move to East Chicago and open a business. I'm business friendly. I'm just, just wouldn't want another tavern in my district. I'm just being totally honest.
Well, this is going to be an open bar as well as a restaurant. It's not like just a tavern where you buy stuff and leave out.
Yeah.
Open, where you walk in, you get a beer, you can order something, some food, sandwiches, whatever you want. That's the kind of it's going to be. If you notice in the pictures that you have, there's 4 or 5 tables.
Right.
And I think the table sits about, 10, 15 people at each one of the tables and everything. So that's what it's going to be.
I understand what you're saying, Attorney. I understand.
So it's a friendly thing. But I'm saying that just like a child, you can supervise the activities of a child.
Right.
You can supervise the activities of a business within your city. You have the power and authority to shut
And I understand
business down,
that.
just like you have a power and control to control the child.
Yeah.
Same way.
And I understand that because I have other issues in my district just with regular liquor stores that, there's a lot of issues and I haven't been able to, be productive on getting some things done.
But the most important thing is the issues you have is not with Mrs. Ramos.
No, I understand. I'm just saying it's difficult after something's already been established, to sometimes go back, and I wouldn't want her to think that, we're trying to police her on a daily basis or anything like that, so I understand and I respect what you said.
Any other questions?
Yeah, just to comment on Ms. Vasquez here. I agree with her, because we've approved numerous business, so the city is not business friendly here. It's just that the steps she took in order to do what she needs to do was kind of, out of order. But did she ever find out the capacity of the building itself? Because the BZA denied it due to the fact of it being residential. Because it wasn't commercial, right?
No.
So did she ever find out the capacity? Because it will be problems with me. I feel it would be problems with parking.
Well, a couple things is, parking has never been an issue. If parking was an issue, then it never would have been granted a variance from the very beginning from the original owners. So that's never been an issue. Matter of fact, that did not come up as a big issue during the BZA meeting at all concerning parking. In terms of, you mentioned something else in reference to she went about the wrong way, and that's been acknowledged and recognized. And Ms. Guzman, your building inspector, indicated that yes, and she didn't deny that. But she also indicated she's waived that, and she gave her notice from this point on, any future moderation have to go through step-by-step procedure. She knows that now. So that's a moot issue concerning that she didn't go the proper way before.
Right.
Because
that's
been
right. That's
accepted
neither
by
here nor there. I'm asking, did she get the capacity of the building itself to determine there's a fire hazard, depending on if there's too many people in there, or did she get that information?
Yeah, I think
she
that
said
comes-
she went to the fire department, and it's baffling me that the fire department didn't give her that information.
Yeah,
And
how
I don't
do
know
they
why
normally
you all
do
don't
that?
have that information
How
now.
does that work? Because my understanding is that once you do the inspection, they'll come in, they'll tell you what the capacity is. You never know
And
beforehand.
you went to the fire department, right?
So the fire department know that, so at some point, they'll come in and tell her what's the capacity is. We don't know that at this point.
Councilman Cuevas?
Yeah, Senator Randolph, whenever the fire department do come in and do inspections, they look at the egress, and from the egresses that they have, they calculate a capacity number. Now, if she went and they came in and they had that for her, she should have that information. And it'll be stated on as such, if you got 2 doors to get out, or 3 or 4, it'll tell you 500, 200 people can be in that building. That's something that she should have had if she did get it. So I can't speak for the Bureau right now to say whether they haven't given her that information or not. I don't know that, but I know that's part of the inspection when the fire department comes in. They look at extinguishers, detectors, carbon, all that. Anything that pertains to safety, even they look at the breakers and all that, make sure everything's in order, but only to a point. They don't get in depth with that.
Yeah, I don't know whether they've done that yet or not. I mean,
Well, the
extinguishers
lady's
in
coming
there.
up right now.
Did they? What's the capacity? 70 people?
That's the max people you can have in that property at one time,
Okay.
okay? That's what that means. So it's 70.
So they've been, okay, great.
Councilwoman Arnold?
I just wanted to make one more comment too, as it relates to her with the liquor store. She has not been given that permission from the Alcohol Beverage Commission, correct?
Yeah, they've approved it. They're just waiting on the permit to come through.
I thought they had to come out and inspect and she
Yeah,
had to do
the
something.
excise individual has been out there. I was there when he came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they've approved everything.
But she can, she has the, she can choose not to do packaged goods, correct?
Yeah, I've already advised her. She's not going to be doing package. She's not going to be doing package.
Councilwoman Maldonado?
Attorney Randolph, I just clarification a little bit. I encourage businesses, and I no doubt think that she's probably very, I don't know her, but I'm certain that she is outstanding individual with great character. My concern is the type of business, not her, the type of business. And so I just want to go back to what you said. The resolution refers to a tavern, which is a bar. You stated that it's a restaurant.
Right. That's correct.
And I understand a liquor license is a liquor license, but, you know, and I'm, not that I'm trying to plug anybody's restaurant here or anything, but, for example, I'm going to use some references in the city. If we have a restaurant in town, say like DBA's, that's a restaurant that happens to sell alcohol. It's a restaurant that happens to sell alcohol. If there's a bar, tavern, like Second String Quarterback, that happens to sell wings, that's a bar that sells wings. It's a bar. So that's a difference
Yeah.
than a restaurant that sells
I think from the very
alcohol.
beginning, the wording, the restaurant part was left off. People were just focused on the bar part. So in your print that you got bar, but there's no mention of the restaurant. And we've been discussing restaurant all along.
And even though you say seating, there are bars that sell wings or slices of pizza that have tables with chairs as well. So I think this, from my understanding, is in fact, from the wording of this is in fact a bar that will sell wings or sandwiches, as you put it, or slices of pizza, as opposed to a restaurant that sells plated meals and such, and also happens to sell beer and alcohol and other things. So I think the concern for me, and I think expressed by the precinct committee person and others, is that it's a bar. And with bars come negative activity, and with negative activity comes police calls, and with police calls, you know, just negative activity happens, and concerns with that. And if you've got seniors or children in a neighborhood, that's where I have my problem. I wouldn't want to, if things are calm at this point, I wouldn't want chaos to occur.
Well,
That's, I think, where my concern would be, and that's my hesitation. I have no doubt, and I think where I would probably echo some of my colleagues' concerns too, if there would be a type of, if that business could be solely a restaurant, then I guess that wouldn't be of a concern. I guess with alcohol then comes other things. At least that's what I've seen. And the city has always been faulted for having too many bars. Bars, taverns, bars, not restaurants that sell alcohol, bars.
yeah, that I understand, and I echo, you know, I understand, I hear it loud and clear what you're saying. If in fact that's the case, when we assume bars comes other things, negative things, and we're concerned about that, then why not close down all the bars that we already have in East Chicago?
You're right.
Okay? My thing is that you have different owners who have different views, different values, just like we're different people. Just because I might like white, that white wall, don't mean that Councilman Vasquez is going to like that wall. We've got different tastes. That's where your supervisory powers come into play at. You can monitor what's going on, but you don't reject outright, okay, without giving her an opportunity, just like anybody else. You work hard every day for an opportunity to advance yourself, to advance your family. And you don't arbitrarily take it away. We always like to give people opportunities. And if in fact we're concerned about the path that they might take, that's where our control comes into play, and you've got the control. So exercise it. But give her a shot first. And if it doesn't work, exercise it. There's no limitation concerning your ordinances, concerning how long you can have the supervision or probationary period that Ms. Orange was alluding to. I think the ordinance says you can do it on an annual basis. It doesn't say you can't do it on a 9-month basis, 6-month basis, or a monthly basis. You can do that. You've got Ms. Guzman, who's a very fine employee, dealt with her on several occasions, and I find her very competent. And she herself was very sentimental to what Mrs. Ramos was going through. I have no problem seeing her coming out once a month, which she does on a regular basis, on a daily basis anyway, just seeing how the location is doing. If anything is out of hand, she can write it up. Next meeting, you can close it down.
Councilman Santos?
More of a comment, not a question, but Attorney Randolph, you understand the position of a city council member, and And a lot of the decisions that we make when they become in regards to asking for a variance or a use variance or to change zoning in certain particular areas, we look at our colleagues that represent the area in which we speak in. And we also go as far as to going into the precinct committee person and those folks that live in that area. And you know why? I mean, because those folks were elected by the people in that area to represent the area. So with that being said, there's 3 folks. It's hard to get past the BZA saying no, a precinct committee member saying no, and our councilman having a strong position here in giving her the variance to open up a tavern. So it's hard for city councilmen to go back and say, hey, you know, absolutely, when they are the ones that field the phone calls. Because I put myself in that situation where they wanted to open up a building in my district, and I had them people coming to my house at 4 in the morning. They did not want the building. And it's hard to look past that these folks represent that area and they do not want that. So with that, I would have to tell you that I rely on my colleague who represents that district, and as well as the precinct committeeman and as well as the BZA. There's 3 different folks that don't want that there. And I know you're going to show me a petition, Mr. Attorney Randolph, but if it was so important to Mrs. Ramos, I'd have every one of those folks on that petition here tonight. But they're not. The only person here tonight is the precinct committee woman and another resident in the area.
And
So, I mean, with that being said, I just wanted to make that comment.
yeah,
And Attorney Randolph, by no means am I saying she's a bad person or I don't want her business. I'd love to see something there, but not the bar. But not the bar. I'd love to see or something or whatever she wants to put, but not the bar. And and I'll just say it now. Whether it's in my district or anybody else's district, when it comes up to a tavern, I'm going to vote no again. Because that's enough.
now, and I'm trying to get the semantics together. There currently is a packaged liquor store there. So are you saying that if she were to choose not to have a bar but sell packaged liquors, that would be acceptable?
No.
That you've already got there? Because you've already got one there, you've already indicated that it's okay by having one there already.
And I think that if that closed down today and nobody picked it up within that time, it would never come back. Because I think that's what they're saying is that they're limited. You know, I had to put myself, I'm sorry, Council President.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I put myself, every time when you have a situation like this, it reminds me of when they come and they tell you they want to put a dump in your area. And everybody that tells you about that dump lives nowhere near it. So they don't have to worry about the dump, and they can tell you how wonderful and how safe and everything is going to be. But the people living in that area is the one that have to be bothered. We had a young man that came with a barbershop, and the people in that, and right there on Catalpa, he wanted to redo it and everything else, but the people felt that the element from the store that used to be there was a bad element. They didn't want it anymore. People are scared. People are scared of bringing things in. And like I said, they got 2 packaged liquor stores there now. And if they shut down today or tomorrow, and they went in a lot of time, they didn't bring it back, I don't think anybody be voting to bring them back either. Because like I said, people are so scared of their safety. I had people from my church, St. Stan's, that walk to church from over there, and they don't want it. But a lot of people don't want to get up and speak up about it because they're scared if they speak up, something may happen to them. I mean, I'm not saying that would happen, but that's the illusion that people have. So if you don't live there, how am I to judge how a person should feel living there? And it's just hard to get past that. If I gotta walk down the street every day and I'm worried about my safety, and there's an element of we've got different people living in this community now. We had, it is no longer the safe community we know. Half of us don't even know our neighbors or anything else. And you get people now, and you're scared to walk up and down the street, and you don't know what's gonna happen. There's a wing and a prayer. They're hoping that you don't get shot at or you don't get mugged or whatever. And we got a police officer sitting right here. He could probably tell you of the violence and right around the area that is there. And I think that any more in our community, there won't be any, because if we was gonna fight for some people, we would have fought for the people that have lived here all their life, that had a liquor store. But most of the time now, when HUD is putting money in or any type of thing, they're saying they don't want to develop around where the element would be there for people to have the liquor stores or anything like that. So like I said, if we was going to be fighting for somebody, it would have been fighting for the person to the right of me, saying, let's keep her store. She's invested, her family has been invested in this community. But when you get, even the government is saying, no longer do we need that element in a neighborhood if we're going to develop it and have it a walkable community and have it so that people aren't scared, then, it's easy to say police them every 2 months and everything, because I'm not getting up out of my bed at 3 o'clock in the morning to go see what nobody's doing. But Councilman Parks, who is a police officer, will be. And I guess he will be. Something happened over there.
He chooses.
But, and like I said, and I know you fight hard for your clients.
Well, and I understand what you're saying, and I identify with everything you're saying, but the issue that we're ignoring is that of the petition of the people that lives within that block have supported her. They signed the petition, which is I'm trying to dig for now. It's kind of hard digging for
I know we
the
got a
document
copy.
when
You
you
gave
want
us
it.
all a copy of that.
You got a copy of that. And these are people that live within the block.
But when you
Whether
look
they're
at that petition,
homeowners?
they weren't homeowners. They're not homeowners,
Well-
they're just that they come and go. Sorry to say.
Well-
But the homeowners there, they do not want it there, attorney.
Whether they're homeowners or whether they're apartment renters, they live within the block. I don't know whether they're homeowners or not.
Well,
But I'm
that's
just
my
saying.
district, I do. And I'm telling you that, I do.
I'm just indicating that they signed in support of that, and they live right there. They live right there.
Yeah,
Okay?
the renters, correct.
Pardon?
The renters, you're right, they did sign it, the renters.
Okay? And so I don't know whether they're renters or homeowners.
I'm telling you, the renters.
Well, I mean, there's 43 people there, and we can't say for a fact which
No, we
are-
can't say,
which
but the
are-
majority
which
are the
are
renters.
But we do know there's 43 people, and they had addresses there indicating that they support her opening up, and they were excited about it. We do know the fact exists that she's going to need employees, and we do also know that by opening a vacant location is going to enhance the property values within the community. I mean, that is consistent with the ordinance that you've got. The resolution itself, does it enhance the property values in the community? And it does. It doesn't take away. It'll take away if it's closed and vacant. I mean, so the most important thing to me is the control factor that you've got. You can monitor it for 3 months, 2 months, 6 months, anytime, and see how it develops. And you can shut it down whenever you want. But all I'm asking was give her the opportunity. Just like each one of us at one point in time asked for an opportunity to do something that we were reaching for. And we got that opportunity. Just like where you're sitting right now. It was an opportunity you were pursuing, and you got it. And you're sitting there right now. If, in fact, you had not got the opportunity that you wanted to be in where you are right now, you wouldn't be here. Someone gave you that opportunity. And you know you had some opposition to it at the time, but you overcame it because of your confidence and the faith that you had within yourself and the people that supported you. And I have faith in this young lady. And I have no doubt that if, in fact, you give her an opportunity, you supervise her, she's going to come out with flying colors. I have no doubt. And I don't come to bat before the city council with too many people. This is probably my first time. Okay.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Mr. President, there hasn't been a motion made to approve or deny. I think that needs to be done first before we have a roll call.
A motion to hear it. Attorney Bauer, would the vote itself be deny or approve? And the majority of the vote would call?
We made a motion to hear.
We've heard it.
Motion to approve or deny.
Can we, Mr. Bauer, please?
Well, what you've got, you've made a motion to hear it. You have heard it. Somebody needs to make a motion either to deny it, or to approve it, or to approve it with certain conditions,
Thank you. So move,
to identify the conditions.
All right.
Mr.
Councilman
President,
Santos?
make a motion to deny and accept the recommendation that was brought before us from the BZA.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Santos to deny it, seconded by Councilman Battle. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos?
Yes.
Battle?
Yes.
Vasquez?
Yes.
Cuevas?
No.
Orange?
Yes.
Maldonado?
Yes.
Arnold?
No.
Parks?
Yes.
Franciski?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Thank you. I thank the city council.
Do we have any old business? Do we have any new business? Moving on to public expression. Will you please keep your comments to 3 minutes? I believe we do have one this evening. Attorney Randolph.
I think I expressed myself.
Already. A motion to adjourn, please.
Second?
Motion was made by Councilman Parks, seconded by Councilman Cuevas. Have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos?
Yes.
Battle?
Yes.
Vasquez?
Yes.
Cuevas?
Yes.
Orange?
Yes.
Maldonado?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
Parks?
Yes.
Franciski?
Yes. Good night.
Vivian, you want these back?
To deny.
Vivian, honey.